Over the past couple months, I've gone through a transition, and I actually got an opportunity that allowed me to leave the area I was in and finally get to live a lifestyle that I thought I wanted, being in a city environment. Moving from South Carolina, small town, to now Virginia in the city has been very eye opening, but also made me realize that life in different places isn't necessarily that different. And I think that's where I went wrong in this journey, or I think that's what I've been learning in this time, that He has blessed me with the things I've asked for. I got a new job, an opportunity that I was looking for. I transitioned out of the industry I was in into a new industry. I get to live in a place that is desirable and something I want to do. But the biggest thing he showed me is that the requirements did not change for what he has for me. That I went through that season and that isolation time in such a small area so I could focus on myself. So when I got to places with more distractions, with more people, with more things to do, I understood what was required of me. That I had a good base, a good foundation, a good understanding of the trajectory of where the Lord is taking me and pushing me, and understanding that I can't lose focus even as I get more excited or I get more opportunity to be exposed to more people, more things, just more places, just more in general. That as he wants to bless me, he needs me to understand that he also doesn't want me to fumble the blessings he has for me. And that's a very important thing. And one thing that I didn't realize was going to happen in this time was he's going to make me slow down even more. I'm still pushing myself in the areas that he has taught me. I'm still looking on how to refine my diet and my exercise and just my general understanding of of the work world and just my personal life, but being more intentional and being more present in the process of refining those things. That I have the foundation, I have the base, but it's time to now add those changes and tweaks as I'm no longer a novice. That as I become an intermediate, as I become someone with more understanding of the requirements it takes to go through a transformative process, I have to continuously look at the little details of how I move and how I shape the way I do a day to actually be efficient and also focused on the ways that He has for me. It's been humbling to see how badly I want to rush through my life and rush through this season and climb the corporate ladder and climb and be successful and grow businesses and start these ventures and ideas that I know are going to be beneficial, are going to be great one day, but I have to go through the process. And one big way that he has gracefully shown me that is through my running journey specifically. I was running a 10K the other day, and at the end of it, I was just thanking him for giving me the revelation that there's nothing you can do to rush through the miles. Yes, I can run faster to make it go through, to get it done faster, but I have to run the 10K. Like I have to do the 6 miles, 6.22 miles. Like you can't make the miles, you can't cheat the miles. And it's the same thing with his process. You can't cheat his process. And not only that, he's also setting the pace. If I try to run a 10K at a pace that I know I can't keep up with, then I'm only setting myself up to not finish. And that's not what he wants. He wants to put me at a trajectory, at a pace that he knows is going to help me grow and be better as, in this case, a runner, but also to help me build the endurance so that I can go beyond 10K, so that I'll be ready for uh, 13 miles, 26.2 miles, or whatever it is as a trajectory of life. I always say life is like a marathon, but we also have to, he also is catering that cadence to what we can handle and also building our capacity along the way. And running is such a beautiful example because you have to stay present. You either focus on your breathing, you're focusing on, like I said, your cadence, you're focusing on certain aspects of how you're moving your body so you can improve over time, over the distance. And that's really what God has been showing me, that I want you to continue to refine the things that I've taught you, the foundation that you are able to build upon, that you've learned in the last couple of years in that small town, knowing that I need to focus on my health. I need to focus on my mental. I need to focus on my emotional and spiritual resilience. And those things don't go away. One thing that my dad says that's so true is that The moment we think we can go one day without his presence, without his guidance, is a day we've lost. And he's continuously reminding me of that. That don't think you have graduated from me and my process. That you need me to the day you die. And the moment you think you need me, you have truly been lost, and you have to come back to me. You have to reel it in. And he's just been teaching me this level of presence and appreciation and an awareness of the little things that I do that may draw me away from him. And it's been a rewarding, and eye-opening experience that everything I get to do in the day is worship at the end of the day. The way I move my body, the way I interact with people, the way I even emotionally regulate or interact with my friends, family, with strangers are all ways that I can um, honor him. That keeping him present in everything I do is truly the goal, and understanding that we are here to be an expression of purity. Our pursuit is in learning how to transform our minds, body, spirit, so that we are living examples. And that's not just the sense of in church or whatnot. We are supposed to be able to be in the world, in a world that has so much darkness, be the literal light. And if we can't be that in every space that we work in, then we have lost the plot. We have lost the goal of what it is to be Christian, to be followers of Jesus, to be people of the way. And he's just been showing me that I want to stay disciplined in my diet and exercise, because there's people that now look up to me as motivation. And not saying that I need to do it just for them, but I'm doing it for myself. But I want to inspire. I want to show people that there's goodness in that. There's ways I have to show up in my job and be a good role player and make sure I'm doing the job the way that satisfies my bosses, because there is goodness in that. There is worship in that, and the sacrifice of sacrificing my ambition for the greater goal of what the company wants. Those are things that I'm having to learn, and it's that act of sacrifice that makes the worship so sweet. And it just reminds me, I was reading 2 Samuel 24:24, and when David bought the threshing floor, and he told the gentleman, "No, I can't offer sacrifices to God the place that I did not pay for, that it didn't cost me anything." And it's the fact that of losing who I think I am, losing uh, what I want or what I think I want, and the desires of my heart to the things that God wants, is is the reward in and of itself. That level of sacrifice is how He can bless me. That when I lose those things that I think are what make me me, and I truly find myself being subjected to His process, that's that's where He shows up. That's where you find Him. That's where I find Him. In that process of sacrifice, of saying, God, I want this, this, and this, and I need this, or this is me. And He's like, no, let me show you something better. And being able to lay those things down and lay that down is where I finally find transformation. And it just makes me, I remind myself that God knows my destiny better than I ever will. That He knows who I'm meant to be better than I ever will. And if I continuously believe otherwise, I'm only cheating myself out of the life that He wants to lead me. All that to say, it's this season is a continuation of the work that I put in with Him for the last couple of years, and I'm excited to see the trajectory that I'm on, and understanding that I'm still moving way faster than I think I am, and as I continuously lean into Him and His presence and what He has, I'll continuously see more and more of His goodness and more authenticity in my life, and where I'm going. So just to encourage you to lean into Him, be present, slow down, and be intentional with the steps and the awareness you have on what you do in a day and how you maneuver through life, and draw out His presence in every single thing you do. Because if you don't, you are missing the point. That He took time to make the animals, nature, the trees, the different species, all the things that we don't even know exist yet, are there for a reason. And that level of intentionality is so profound, and understanding that how much more he put into us, and being able to draw all that potential out is really the true goal.